You're holding on so tightly to what hurt you, to what left, to what's no longer in your control, that you don't even realize it's dragging you deeper into misery. The more you resist, the heavier it becomes. But what if the weight isn't yours to carry anymore? What if the real strength lies not in clinging, but in letting go? The Stoics believe that peace comes when we surrender our grip on what we cannot change. Because when you don't let go, life has a way of pulling you, dragging you through suffering you were never meant to endure. We human beings have a natural tendency to hold on to people, to memories, to pain, to mistakes, to what could have been. We replay conversations in our minds, wondering what we should have said. We fantasize about alternate outcomes, trying to rewrite the past in our heads. We carry guilt like it's a punishment we deserve, and we keep our wounds fresh by never allowing them to close. But the Stoics saw this as a form of self-imprisonment. Epictetus said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our judgment about them." Think about that. It's not the event, the breakup, the loss, the failure, or the betrayal that continues to hurt you. It's your refusal to release it. You become chained, not by reality, but by your reaction to it. You carry the weight of what no longer exists and wonder why you feel so heavy. The Stoic Way urges us to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. Your choices, your actions, your mindset, these are within your power. But the past, the behavior of others, the outcome of things already done, these are beyond your reach. And yet it's often these very things that drag us through life like anchors tied to our feet. We resist, we cling, we grieve over and over again, and we call that strength. But real strength, the kind the Stoics taught and lived, is the courage to let go. It's the power to release what no longer serves your growth, to stop feeding pain with attention, and to face the present moment fully, without distortion. When you let go, you're not giving in. You're stepping out of a fight that was never yours to win. You're choosing peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, and progress over paralysis. Because as the Stoic saying goes, let go or be dragged. Letting go does not mean forgetting, nor does it mean that what happened was acceptable. It means choosing not to carry the weight of it any longer. The Stoics weren't emotionless. They felt deeply, but they believed in mastering emotions rather than being mastered by them. They understood that suffering is prolonged not by pain itself, but by our unwillingness to move through it. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," highlighting how much of our pain comes from reliving wounds in our minds rather than healing from them. When you let go, you're not erasing the past. You're freeing yourself from being ruled by it. You're saying, "This happened, I accept it, but I will not allow it to define who I am or what I do next." That shift in mindset is not passive, it's an active choice, a daily discipline, a mental habit that builds emotional resilience. In every moment you resist letting go, ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Is this memory making me stronger or keeping me stuck? The Stoics taught us that peace isn't found in what happens, it's found in how we respond. And sometimes the most powerful response is simply releasing the rope. The process of letting go is not a single decision, it's a repeated conscious act that requires discipline, patience, and inner clarity. It's waking up each day and reminding yourself that you are not your past, that you are not bound to the pain others caused you, and that freedom begins the moment you stop clinging to what's already gone. The Stoics practiced this through reflection and journaling, constantly examining their own thoughts, detaching from desires, and reminding themselves of what truly mattered. They saw life as a river, constantly flowing, constantly changing, and understood that trying to hold on to any part of it was like trying to grasp water with your hands. We cling out of fear of being alone, of facing the unknown, of living without what once brought comfort. But fear, like pain, is only powerful when you bow to it. Letting go demands courage. The courage to trust that something better lies ahead. The courage to find meaning beyond loss. The courage to stand in the present moment with acceptance instead of resistance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." This is the Stoic mindset, neither overvaluing what comes nor being broken by what leaves. Life will continue to test you, and some days you'll find yourself holding on again. That's human. But each time you choose to release rather than resist, you regain your strength. You return to yourself, and in that space of letting go, you begin to rise. Letting go also means releasing the illusion of control. The false belief that if we had just done something differently, things would have turned out the way we wanted. We torture ourselves with what-ifs and if-onlys, believing we had more power over the outcome than we actually did. But the Stoics were clear. We are only responsible for our intentions, our efforts, our choices, not the results. The outcome is never fully in our hands, and trying to control it is like trying to hold back the tide. Epictetus taught that freedom begins the moment we accept this truth. He said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." This isn't about apathy. It's about wisdom. It's about understanding the boundary between what we can influence and what we must release. When you let go of the obsession with controlling outcomes, you open yourself to peace. You stop living in constant resistance to life's uncertainty. You stop blaming yourself for what was never yours to control. You stop wasting energy on changing things that can't be changed, and instead direct that energy toward growth, clarity, and becoming the kind of person who can walk through life with grace, even when storms come. Letting go is not weakness, it's power refined. It's the power to say, "I did my part, and now I move forward," without guilt, without bitterness, and without regret. In the end, letting go is an act of liberation, one that reconnects you with your inner stillness, your strength, and your sense of purpose. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's not always easy. Some days your past will call out to you like a familiar voice, trying to pull you back into the patterns you've worked so hard to outgrow. But every time you choose to release instead of cling, you take a step toward becoming who you were always meant to be: calm, grounded, unshaken by the chaos around you. The Stoics lived with the understanding that life is fleeting, that clinging to impermanence only deepens suffering, and that real power lies in our ability to accept and adapt. When you let go, you make space for what truly matters: peace, clarity, resilience, and wisdom. You become free, not because your circumstances are perfect, but because you're no longer a prisoner of them. You walk lighter, you think clearer, and you live more fully. As the Stoic principle reminds us, let go or be dragged. The choice is always yours.